Good day, grade 10 learners. Welcome to another opportunity to learn English 10. I am Teacher Dane. Come with me and let's explore English. Today, we are going to discuss week 3 lesson of 3rd quarter, and that is using a variety of informative, persuasive, and argumentative writing techniques. But before we head on our main topic, we need to know our target first. For this week's lesson, the most essential learning competency based from our Pivot for a Budget of Work in English is use a variety of informative, persuasive, and argumentative writing techniques. Today's lesson is from Pivot for a Learner's Pocket, which is used by all grade 10 learners in Region 4A Calabarzon. Special thanks to Ms. Shirley H. Cabuyao and Mr. Romel E. Ramos of SDO Tayabas City for sharing their expertise in the content of this lesson. Now let's begin. To attain the most essential learning competency of this lesson, you must meet the following objectives by the end of the lesson. And that is, first, identify the different writing techniques, their characteristics and uses. Second, appreciate the techniques in developing an effective essay. And lastly, use a variety of informative, persuasive, and argumentative writing techniques through an essay. Let's begin. Writing is an important form of communication. It allows the students to put their feelings and ideas on paper, to organize their knowledge and beliefs into convincing arguments, and to convey meaning through a well-constructed text. It is a process of using symbols to communicate thoughts and ideas in a readable form. Good writers use different writing techniques to fit their purpose for writing. Listen to what our experts tell about studying abroad. Decide to which of them uses writing techniques in the following types, such as informative, persuasive, and argumentative. Mr. De La Cruz says,
according to a study by Evangelista in Eduscape magazine, 90% of students who studied abroad with TESOL are admitted to their first or second choice for graduate school.
Mr. Medina says,
studying abroad will have a long-lasting, positive implications on a student's future as an academic and a professional. Why not make an appointment with the Study Abroad Center at your university? You have nothing to lose by starting a conversation today. Gear up for your future.
And lastly, Ms. Capara says, beyond college, students who study abroad will be better equipped to succeed in the workplace. Their broadened worldview will help them relate to their co-workers, especially in the worldwide organization. In spite of these benefits, some parents simply will not allow their children to study abroad because of safety and money issues. In these cases, it is more important to take a look at new windows of opportunity that will fling open the moment they graduate. What is the writing technique used in each statement? Let's find it out as we go along with our discussion. One of the best ways to develop your skills in writing is to learn how to choose the most effective approach or technique to get your message across. In this lesson, we will explore techniques to help you apply them in informative, persuasive, and argumentative writing. Let us discuss first informative writing. Informative writing educates the readers by imparting straightforward information, facts, and details on a certain topic. It also gives them a new understanding or new appreciation of some topics which one might be familiar. In informative writing, the writer answers questions of why or how. Here are the types of informative writing. First, the definition essay. This essay provides detailed explanation of an idea. For example, about love. The writer defines love based on his research or even through his personal experience. Second, the cause and effect essay. This essay explains the connection or the link up of two or more events. For example, cyberbullying. Here, the essay may contain the reasons why one experienced cyberbullying and what are the effects of this. Third, the opposing sides essay. This essay presents all sides of an issue. It presents the pros and the cons, or the points for and the points against the certain issue. For example, in death penalty, the essay may have all the details why death penalty needs to push through and not. And lastly, the process essay. This type of essay gives a step-by-step explanation on how something works or how to do something. For example, how to travel solo successfully. So in this kind of essay, you are expected to read points or tips on how to travel solo successfully. Informative writing has three main parts: the introduction, body, and conclusion. The beginning or introduction needs to present the topic and grab your reader's attention. It needs to include the focus sentence for the entire essay. The body of your informative essay should provide all the necessary information. It has to piece out fully the lack of information in an issue. As a writer, you must use various sources, facts, and expert judgments. Make sure all your facts are accurate. And you also have to create an outline that will organize your facts in a logical way. In conclusion, you should restate about the seriousness of issue and summarize the facts for and against the main topic. You should never introduce some new information or ideas in the conclusion. Its main purpose is to round off your informative essay by summing up. To better understand and easily remember the essential parts of informative essay, look at this outline. The formula that you must remember is I plus mid plus C, where I stands for introduction, mid for main idea and details that are found in the body, and C for conclusion. As much as possible, informative essay must have at least 5 paragraphs. The first paragraph includes the introduction of the topic and the thesis statement that contains all the main ideas you want to write about. The body has the second, third, and fourth paragraph where the mid in the formula is found. Each paragraph has a main idea sentence and supporting details to prove a point. Every paragraph effectively uses a marker for transition of ideas. The last paragraph is for the conclusion. Here, we find the restatement of thesis statement. This paragraph usually begins with "in conclusion" to wrap up the essay. Now let us go back to the ideas presented by our linguist. Based from the description of informative writing, who among our linguists informs? Correct. Mr. De La Cruz informs us the importance of studying abroad with TESOL based on a study. We are informed from a study conducted by Evangelista published in Eduscape magazine that 90% of the students who studied abroad with TESOL are admitted to their first and second choice for graduate school. The second type of writing is the persuasive writing. This writing convinces the readers of the validity of the writer's argument. It attempts to convince the reader that the point of view of the writer is valid or best. Usually, it is an opinion supported by evidence and research. It builds arguments on opinion and factual statements. It also intends to make the readers do certain things and presents arguments only about one. Persuasive writing intends to convince readers to believe in an idea or opinion and to do an action. Many writings, such as criticisms, reviews, reaction papers, editorials, proposals, advertisements, and brochures, use different ways of persuasion to influence the readers. The formula that best remember the parts of persuasive writing is I, or the introduction, plus B3R, or the body, 3 reasons, plus C, which is the conclusion. Introduction articulates your source of information with a thesis statement. In the body, we need to list at least 3 reasons for the opinions. And lastly, in the conclusion, is the restatement of your opinion in a persuasive way. Here are the 5 techniques in persuasive writing. First, choose a subject that interests you and that suits your purpose and audience. Second, address the audience. Third, clarify your purpose. Fourth, make a draft for your essay. And lastly, use words that reveal personal judgment or viewpoint, such as undoubtedly, all, always, everybody, furthermore, for, against, worst, for example, feel, exactly, definitely, fortunately, best, reason, must, most likely, none, should, and remember. And remember, add an interesting question or an anecdote for the introduction. Use appropriate figures of speech to strengthen your appeal. Use reasons and examples as support. Use factual and opinion statements. Summarize your reasons. Use the last sentence to further persuade your readers to agree with you or invite your readers to action. And lastly, revise and polish your work. Before we move on to the last type of writing, let me give you a sample persuasive paragraph. Many students really do not like the lunch their school has to offer. Parents pay for it because they feel their children get healthy food and it is convenient for them to provide it. Yet, many students throw much of it out because they do not like their choices. The school lunch menu needs to be changed in order to give students more choices, save money being wasted, and provide healthier, nutritional benefits. What is the main idea of this paragraph? The main idea of this paragraph is many students do not like the lunch in their school. Why is this persuasive writing? The writer proposes that lunch menu needs to be changed in order to give students more choices, save money being wasted, and provide healthier and nutritional benefits to students. Let us go back to our linguist again. Based from the descriptions and purpose of persuasive writing, who among our linguists persuades? Mr. Medina persuades us to try to study abroad because it will have a long-lasting positive implications on our future as an academic student and a professional. The third type of writing is argumentative writing. In the previous weeks, we learned that argumentative writing aims to change the reader's mind by convincing him or her to agree with your point of view or consider your stand or argument on an issue. The main argument presented is elaborated and explained through the presentation of its pros, or in favor of, and cons, or against, of your position in an issue or topic. It begins with an introduction and ends with a conclusion. In between are the body paragraphs where you must do three things. First, support your opinion. Second, present the opposing point of view. And third, tell why that viewpoint is wrong. When you write an argument, you are trying to convince your reader that your opinion is correct.
Let us now have the essay structure in an argumentative writing. The structure is ICT, where I is the introduction, C for the claim, and T for the thesis statement, plus the BPCR, where B is the body, P is the evidence or pros, C is the counter-argument or cons, and R for the rebuttal and refutation, plus C, which is the conclusion. Introduction has a statement of opinion, and this is the topic of argument. The body has the proof of facts that support your argument, an argument that your reader would make if they disagreed with your claim, and your response to the counter-argument. And conclusion has a strong statement of the original claim. Here is a sample outline of an argumentative essay. And here is the full argumentative essay of the school uniform question. Let us go back to our linguist again. Based from the descriptions and purpose of argumentative writing, who among our linguists argues? Correct. Ms. Caparas claims that the students who study abroad will be better equipped to succeed in workplace. It also has a counter-argument, which is some parents may not allow their children to study abroad because of safety and money issues. But it also has a rebuttal or the refutation that says it is more important to take a look at new windows of opportunity that will fling open the moment they graduate. Again, here are the writing technique structures of the following writing types. For informative essay, it is I, which is the introduction, plus MID, the main idea and details, plus C, the conclusion. For persuasive essay, it is I, which is the introduction, plus B3R, which is the body and three reasons, plus C, conclusion. And for argumentative essay, it is ICT, wherein it is the intro, claim or thesis statement, plus BPCR or the body, pros or evidence, cons or counter-argument, and rebuttal or refutation, plus C, which is the conclusion. Shall we have a little practice here? Look at the given topics. Identify each, whether it is informative, persuasive, or argumentative. Are you ready? Let's begin. Number 1. The many causes of asthma attacks. The answer is informative. It is informative because it addresses factual information about the causes of asthma attacks. Number 2. Changing the length of school days. The answer is persuasive. It is persuasive because it indicates opinions about why the school day should be longer. Number 3. Media has negative effects on children. The answer is persuasive because it requires an opinion to back up information supporting why or why not media has a positive or negative effect on children. Number 4. How to make grandma's homemade bread. It is informative because it includes statistical information about how to make grandma's homemade bread. And lastly, should online learning be implemented in the Philippines? The answer is argumentative because it has the pros and cons about online learning. Great job! Now, let us do learning task number 1. Below is a mix of informative text. Arrange it in a way that shows the structure of I plus mid plus C of the ideas with topic, details, and big idea. The title of the text is How to Travel Solo Successfully. Now, let us try to do learning task number 2. Persuasive writing states and supports an opinion. Based on the given statements, write your own persuasive text using the structure of I plus 3BR plus C. Some people think recesses in school should be longer. They believe kids might learn better if they had a longer break in the middle of the day. However, the extra class time after recess would make the school day longer. Therefore, kids would get out of school later in the day. What do you think? Support your opinion with persuasive writing. Let us do learning task number 3. Write an essay arguing for or against the topic, young people nowadays should decide to take a gap year before they start university. Consider the following. Outline the value of education. Decide whether one's decision is more beneficial than the other. Suggest how the issue should be treated in the future. And develop a 5-paragraph argumentative essay of 100 to 200 words. Be guided by the following outline or structure. The I, CT, plus B, PCR plus C. Writing will be at its best if you stay focused on your purpose. Having that in mind, it is a requirement for you to be in the know of the different writing techniques for you to be able to send the message to the readers. For learning task number 4, you read the given facts or ideas about throwaway culture. Use them in developing your essay focusing on techniques in one of the writing forms: informative, persuasive, and argumentative. Here is the rubric for informative writing. Here is the rubric for persuasive writing. And this is the rubric for argumentative writing. Let us now have the concept digest. Remember, informative writing educates the readers by imparting straightforward information. Persuasive text builds arguments on opinions and factual statements. The main objective of an argumentative text or essay is to change the reader's mind by convincing him or her to agree with your viewpoint or consider your stand or argument on an issue. The main argument in an argumentative essay is explained through the presentation of its pros and cons of your position in an issue. And lastly, the body parts in an argumentative essay include stating one's opinion or claim, giving reasons to support the opinion, and arguing against the opposite opinion. For our assessment, I want you to read the statements carefully. On your paper, write agree if the statement expresses truth about argumentative, informative, and persuasive writing, and disagree if it says otherwise. Number 1. The main objective of an argument essay is to tell a story. The correct answer is disagree. The main objective of an argumentative essay is to convince your reader to agree with your point of view or consider your stand or argument on an issue. Persuasive text combines facts with emotions to convince the reader that the author is right. The correct answer is agree. Number 3. In developing body paragraphs in an argumentative essay, you must state your opinion, expand the claims, give reasons to support your opinion, and argue against the opposite opinion. The correct answer is agree. Number 4. Informative writing aims to give the readers a new understanding or appreciation of some topics with which you might be familiar with. The correct answer is agree. And lastly, there is no need to present the pros and cons arguments in an issue of an argumentative text. The correct answer is disagree. It is very important to present the pros and cons of an issue in an argumentative text to convince the reader that your opinion is correct. Were you able to get all the items correctly? Great job! Let us reflect on what you learned from the lesson by completing the statements. The aspect of the lesson I believe I learned most about is the task which I found most challenging is I realized that I can use the things I learned from this lesson when we have reached the end of our discussion. Now, let us try to see if we were able to meet our targets. First, were you able to identify the different writing techniques, characteristics, and uses? Good! Second, were you able to appreciate the techniques in developing an effective essay? Great job! And lastly, were you able to use a variety of informative, persuasive, and argumentative writing techniques through an essay? Amazing! Here ends our discussion for today. Thank you for participating. I hope you had fun learning English. This is Teacher Dane. See you again next time. Bye!